Distinguished Clown Corps. They are making their way down with their float and Clowny, sponsored by UHY.
150 members marching today with a brand new float.
Their way into the parade to help make this day possible. They've raised over $2 million for the foundation in the past 31-year history.
Going down Woodward Avenue on Thanksgiving Day, it's part of the fabric of Detroit. What a treat that this parade to be as big as it is now, as the city is rising from the ashes like a phoenix.
I think there's a point of pride in being a part of America's Thanksgiving parade and an opportunity to touch lives coming down Woodward Avenue.
11 years. This is my 11th year as a clown.
I've been a clown for 26 years.
This is my 5th year.
My wife is a clown. She's in her 6th year.
I'm going into my 8th year.
This is my 38th year being a clown.
I've always been really impressed by the work of the Distinguished Clown Corps and the community that they have.
It's one of the best things you can do on a Thanksgiving day. During the day, I'm a banker. I work for the Bank of Birmingham, and I've been a clown for 26 years. And for a number of years, I really didn't tell anybody. I would show up because the bank sponsored, but all of a sudden you start to meet people, leaders of the community, and pretty soon you had so much fun, and you said, wait a minute, this is something this is why we call it the Distinguished Clowns. This is something that you should really like to do. So it became a family event.
And so as a child, I would either watch him on TV and look for him dressed as a clown, or I would go with him to the parade and sit in the bleachers and bundle up, waiting in anticipation for the clowns to come through.
I've told her that this is a great opportunity for her to do something for the community. With her personality, I expect her to walk that 2+ miles and hand out thousands of beads and just have a great time.
To be part of the Distinguished Clown Corps is my very small contribution to the Detroit community. And so to be able to give back in a small way, not just on Thanksgiving, but also at other points throughout the year, to really build this identity and a pride in who Detroit is and what Detroit stands for.
Well, you know, we have more than just the parade. We have other gatherings during the year, and it's always fun to get together and start thinking about the fun that we'll have in the holiday season, because Thanksgiving is such a special day.
Oh, I'm the best looking clown in town. That's why I'm the Grand Jester. They finally got somebody that looks good, knows how to act, and I'm gonna take over for life. Thank you.
I'm currently the Chief Financial Officer for the Unemployment Insurance Agency for the state of Michigan.
I'm Executive Vice President of Strategic Staffing.
I work for the Bank of Birmingham.
I am a fundraising consultant.
I'm a retired sales rep for Lacoste.
So much more goes into the costumes now because they are so well made and they're so colorful. They're just fun to wear.
So it's really fun to get to know the individual and see like what they're all about and how they transform like their personality into a costume, and for that day be out on the route and be so excited. Arlene does amazing jobs with the costumes, but over the last few years it's really become such a personalized statement of who you are.
I came up with this little idea of having fabric swatches of the person, so we have personal cards or of the costume that we have made. That's how I remember.
Everybody is different. No two outfits are the same in the parade. So it makes it unique.
Well, I like it because usually times they give me free will. You know, they'll pick out something that they really like. And then after that, they say you can decorate the hat however you want. And I just like that because I can use my creativity, and so I make sure that no one else is going to go out there and see another hat or a costume like that.
The first year, I had a dunce cap. Do you remember the old dunce cap? It was pointed.
The second costume, I got a little crazier. Actually, I'll call it psychedelic.
It was the first time I ran for city council. My main color was purple, so I thought it was fitting if I was going to clown around for the city to make purple a part of my costume. So I did and added a few extra colors.
Well, my costume is based on a blue and a yellow and a green and silver on the other side, just like my shoes.
And I'm not trying to be partial, but I like the ladies' costumes now because they do the tutus and butterflies. And
I picked out a fabric of old-fashioned ice skates because I love to ice skate. I have a friend who's a dentist. She's a tooth fairy. So you can customize your own after the first 5 years.
Because we have to make a fashion statement, I guess. That's what I like the ladies.
Okay, your first clown costume is all one piece. And the first 5 years, one side is white, and then whatever other color pattern you have.
5 year is always a silver on one side. So that's how you know it's a 5 year. A 10 year is gold on one side.
And with all these, you get a matching hat and you get a garter. At 20 years, you get a black and silver costume.
We have a couple people like that were 25 years.
The 25th year is a royal blue.
I have my blue cape. The nice thing about being the longest serving clown, I get to pick as we come in 5 year increments. I get to have input about what the next distinction will be.
I like it the different stages once you see that they have stayed that long. You know, if you have a clown that's been there 25 years, that's a lot. So each one means something. So once you see them coming down the street, you can say, well, that's a 5 year, or that's a 10 year, that's a 15 or a 25.
That's the goal. The long blue velvet cape.
Clouds will break up later this afternoon. Up to morning temperatures in the mid-60s.
It's always fun to get together and start thinking about the fun that we'll have in the holiday season because Thanksgiving is such a special day. We will have a breakfast, an early morning breakfast that's coming up. I always wear my costume to that.
It's like the beginning of the holiday season for us, right? So we make sure that we're in town on the parade company pancake Friday, and so that's the start of it.
Interesting people come to that early morning breakfast, and it's live on television and on the radio, so it's fun to go there and see the other clowns.
You know, parades go back many, many, many years, and this parade has been around a long time. It used to be called Hudson's. In fact, the Clown Corps, about 30 years ago, senior people in the community, business people, big-name people, got together and said, what can we do to help the parade? And about 15 or 20, I think, is what clowns got together and said, why don't we become clowns and pay for it? That started the Clown Corps and added at that point, you know, X dollars. We had 190 clowns today contributing to the Clown Corps. So I think that's fantastic. Without the Clown Corps, would the parade be the same? I don't think so.
The Clown Corps is so diverse, ages, races, backgrounds, and this year there are a lot more young clowns, which is exciting because it means that the tradition will carry on.
Yes, that's so important.
So what advice do you have for me as a first-year clown?
Dress in layers.
Yes, layers on the bottom. On my feet there are 2 layers. On my legs there are 4 layers.
And me, I'm 2 on the bottom and 3 on the top, plus a clown suit.
Make sure you don't put too much makeup on because it's very difficult to come off.
The first couple years I had the white makeup and I felt like a Stephen King clown. So I don't do that anymore because I want kids to be happy, not scared.
That's it. Just have a good time.
I think it celebrates the community. It's a good way to come together. I mean, it's a group of philanthropists in a sense, right? Because you contribute money to keep this legacy going, and at the same time, money is one thing to contribute, but being involved personally is a big deal too.
I've always wanted to be in the parade. And when I was 80 in September, I received this honor of being a distinguished clown. That's what Eric's family did for me.
When she was younger, she also was actually a clown. Her clown name was Jubilee, and she would go to senior homes and elementary schools and kids parties and stuff and be a clown. And Then fast forward, and now we've got an opportunity to have 3 generations marching down Woodward for the Thanksgiving Day Parade. And she's now a distinguished clown.
Yes.
She's always been distinguished in my life, but she's now really officially a distinguished clown.
It's just a fun thing for the families and everybody. I mean, this is the second biggest parade in the country.
What brings me back to the parade year after year after year is the fun.
And from my wife's perspective, she wants to go down that route like 7 times that morning because it's that cool.
You know, we're the main attraction to the whole parade.
You know, kids are getting up early in the morning. They look forward to that. So it's the whole excitement of you being a part of creating, you know, a memorable moment for a family.
It shows Detroit in absolutely its best light.
And being a part of this parade, which is so big and so much a part of Detroit, is meaningful. And we thank every one of our distinguished clowns and UHY, our sponsor, and everybody who's involved with this because it's so meaningful.
It was Detroit Rock City. I felt so much love from Detroit and so much of Detroit's culture.
I think that the parade is really the best representation of Detroit. It brings everybody together. So even in the worst of times, the parade continued to march its way down Woodward.
When you walk that parade route, when you see the city lit up, and I don't mean with lights, I mean with just people's attitude. Everybody, and I don't care if it's snowing, I don't care if it's raining. When we hand out our beads, there is just something about that energy as you walk down here that it's just, I want to come back and do it again.
We're the only ones giving out gifts. We throw beads. These beads here, they love them. They fight for the beads.
We're not originally from Detroit. We moved here, and the city has been wonderful to us. For years, we've wanted to give back to the city, and we feel this is a wonderful, wonderful tradition, especially in light of the fact there's only 3 parades in the country: New York, Philadelphia, and Detroit. And this is a beautiful experience.
It's become a family tradition, and it's something that I hope to continue.
It was so much more fun than I could have ever expected. I was smiling so hard for so long that my cheeks started to hurt.
We need to have positive things that take place in any city, but to see it happening and continue to happen in Detroit is, I think, very valuable, very valuable.
$2.
These are our distinguished clowns. That name is so fitting, and the civic leaders, the business leaders, the wives and children of these people, it is a perfect name forever.